Let's see if I'm actually live, because I haven't clicked this button in more than a year? TBD. I don't know where this would be going. Maybe I'm live on Twitch. Maybe I'm live on YouTube. Maybe I'm live nowhere. Maybe I'm talking to myself. No, I am live on Twitch. Ooh. That's gonna echo. So sorry. Doesn't look like YouTube is working though. No, I am live. Oh, cool. I'm live on both places. Let me fire up my chats. I don't think anybody's here. So technical difficulties aside there, well, 0 difficulties. I thought I was going to run into more. Just wanted to go live really quick. I have like about an hour before I have to go back out. I'm not going to be playing all that much, just to yap about raids and maybe do some pumpking stuff and share some little tips and tricks maybe for new players. I don't know where I'd actually share them, maybe make a separate video at some point, but I'd rather just talk about them ad hoc at some point to get more eyes on them. Oh, more echo. So sorry. Yo, what's up, Ash? I finally got YouTube chat up. This title is not going to work, is it, huh? We got to fix that. I don't even remember how to do this. Oh, Lord. Oh, that would help. I'm on the wrong account. There we go. Let's see. I'll probably timestamp the live recording for anyone who's interested eventually. And if someone ends up watching this and they want to add the timestamps in the comments, I will send you, I don't know, PokeMMO. Because I would really appreciate it, because I don't have a lot of time today. Maybe it's in studio. Content. Live. Edit. Raid. Raid. What the hell? Can't type. What is going on? It is literally. Oh. Copy paste. Raids waiting room. Yapping about pumpking. Raids and other stuff for an hour. Copy. Paste. That worked. Okay. Ditch this. I'm doing no music for this stream. What's happening? Didn't we have Shaman? Yes, we definitely had Shaman already. I just hit go live with no further consideration. And that was the last time I apparently went live. Or I just saved that for some reason. So we'll see. It should be the new title though. Nope, it didn't. Okay. Maybe now. There we go. Okay. We're fixed on YouTube. Rumo, hello. Decided to go live mostly for VOD purposes. We're not racing for World First Shaman. We are probably doing some pumpking and just yapping about stuff. And I'll probably wait like another couple minutes. Maybe I'll just start a pumpkin fight. And then see if more people show up. And otherwise, I'll just talk to the mic for a while. And then I have a VOD to point people to for whatever purposes. I've got a couple other things that I want to share as far as like new player tips go for the event. And yeah, let's switch stuff. Preview of what you could use for a mini boss team. I'll just mention it really quick. Rainer came up with this. Full credit to him. You can very easily clear the mini bosses with just, this is a 2x31 Excadrill that I bought. Doesn't need to be. It's much better to be EV trained. This one is not. But essentially, you're running Sand Rush, Exca, Choice Band, Earthquake. You have a slow Gigalith, basically any level to set Sandstream. And then you need any Pokemon that knows Helping Hand. It's a prio move, and you just use that. So it's a Helping Hand boosted Choice Banded Earthquake from Excadrill that is going off very quickly because of the Sand Rush boost. So there's a little tip for you. If you want to farm one turn mini bosses, nice little 80k boost. So actually, how much are the candies right now? Candy. Goat title. Oh, were you referring to the Shaman World First title or the new title? Oh, not Spooky Candy. I'm so it was long. But okay, 66k. Call it 65k. I gotta get the restream chat up. Restream. I haven't logged into this in a while. How's the event going for everyone? What are you doing? What's your plan? How you think you're gonna make money? How you think you're gonna lose money? Are you excited for raids? Email. Try. Oh my goodness, this is a disaster. Would you say it's best to save on special candies or to sell them now? Because I've got like 13 and haven't tried pumpkin yet. It really doesn't matter all that much. The special candies will kind of fluctuate. Like I can pull up a chart, but basically you can go look them up from the event. And they'll say, I think they peak at price really early just because there's not a lot of people doing it at first. Then it kind of just stabilized. I think they'll roughly stay around that price, is my best guess, but they can fluctuate depending on a lot of things. If they tweak the fight, which I doubt they'll do, then it'll definitely change. But otherwise, they'll be pretty stable. If you need the yen now, do it. If you plan on running pumpkin a lot and you don't need, and you have enough pump or you have enough poke yen to get to it, then I would say you can hold on to them pretty safely. I'm just buying them as they are because I don't think they'll fluctuate that much. I'll probably, now that they're a little bit lower, I'll probably just buy a bunch right now so I can continue to do the event or the boss fight, like kind of repeat. So I'm using the 6-mon team. If you're not familiar, let me get them all set up right. And Gem, Chillon, Chillonberry, Rocky, Balloon. My team is a bit suboptimal. Some people are running into some very minor issues. This is a pretty consistent team. I didn't buy candy. I'm good on ground gems. How's my attack? I should probably buy a couple cookies just in case I need them. What's the benefit of grinding pumpkin? Isn't the candies more expensive than the goodie bags? It's 66k. Let's do the math real quick. Special candy, 65k. Pumpkin bag is down to 30k. You get 5 bags per completed boss fight and particles if you're doing them. So that is about 150k per. So you're making roughly 90k profit every time you beat boss fight if you're selling instantly. Some people like to sit on the bags, but it's still a profit regardless of doing it. I think that dusk balls are going to be better money making on the short term, potentially. Maybe a combination of both, just because you can only get so many Swarmons per hour. But that's my current thought. I didn't buy the special candy, did I? Item market is really clutch for this event, or for events where you have to buy things like special candy. It's so annoying. It was so annoying for item listings because things were just rapidly spawning, despawning. You'd have, if you just wanted to buy something, you'd have to like switch to another page and like spend another 2k just to like get through it instead of playing like whack-a-mole trying to find the one listing that you had the reaction time to buy, competing with everybody else. Yeah, swarms are going to be really good money, I think, long term overall. All right, let's see if I remember how to do this. I got to pull up the guide on second monitor. It's pretty straightforward. I just haven't done it since last night. Am I keeping off on holding the mysterious balls a little? I've sold a lot of them. If you sold a lot of them, that's probably a good price now. Let's see where they're at. There is a lot of desire for these balls, and a lot of people know that. But typically, towards the middle of the event is the cheapest that the mysterious balls will be, just because their supply is at a most, and it's a finite supply of these balls. People like to use them. There's a Shalfa chance on these, which is the first time we've ever seen that. There's a lot of exclusive alphas, new exclusive alphas from the Dusk balls. So we may see a lot of catching from people. What this pulls up a chart, right? Yeah. So I could see it dipped down to 15K, which is absurd. I don't know how that happened. That might have almost just been like a momentary lapse, basically. But I think that anywhere from like, it's kind of stabilizing right now, and it's very likely it'll go up long term. So if you've sold all of them, if you kind of sold on this chart down, I don't think you can see my cursor, but oh yeah, there it is. So if you sold on that drop, that's probably good. If you sold kind of at like the 80K range, that was probably good. At this point, if you're trying to make long-term investments, it's definitely a good time to just collect them and sit on them. Unless you really need the Pokeyen, you can definitely just start flipping them yourself to get some Pokeyen for whatever other stuff you might want to do. But that's a pretty good price to keep them. It's probably on the low end of what they'll stabilize at. Where was I? I have a strong suspicion that we are going to not see any changes for rates. At which point I have an interesting conundrum. Basically, the decision will be, do I want to make new videos despite the content not being different, just to like update them, get the scripts a little bit tighter. My Halloween videos weren't that good. Maybe offer some other tips. I don't know if I can really do that much more input. It's kind of cash grabby in my opinion. I know that other YouTubers are definitely going to do it. So it's sort of like, do I want to relinquish those views to other people that are also doing it? Not that that's necessarily a bad thing, but I'm leaning towards, if it's exactly the same, I'm not going to do much different. I might do like a conglomerate video of like, here's all of the raids from last year. I'm just going to run through them quickly. It looks like they're going to be the same. Here's how to prep. Change the title on last video. Yeah, I would definitely change the title to say if it's still functional. I try to keep them like relevant just because they've changed year over year. But if it turns out, then I'll start changing the titles to be like just the generic. Here's the Galvantula fight. Here's the Darkrai fight. And if there are any further tweaks, then update them. Or maybe I'll make a new one that's a bit more evergreen, where I kind of talk about like, sort of just the overall, here's how the fight goes, and it's probably going to stay mostly the same in the future. If it does, I'll update the title. What's up, Roly Poly? How you doing? Yeah, no problem, Blair. Keep the questions coming. God, I'm so bad at multitasking. I'm gonna get like one fight in probably. All right, I'm not gonna put it on screen because I just can't be bothered to figure out OBS right now. I haven't done that in so long. But let me get the chats up. Back up, rather. Anybody get stuck in? Oh, didn't mean to do that. Before the event, I made the Gothitelle team. Is that safe to use? It's absolutely safe to use. And to be honest, I might switch to a team like that at some point to start doing particles. I might just use the team that I used last year, which was one of the old teams. Yo, David, what's up? When the heck is the first raid out? I got friends who prepped and wanted to do them this year, and we're so sad we couldn't get it last night. I mean, everybody's in the same boat. We're, just wait. I spelled waiting wrong. Holy moly. All right, let me fix titles. Let me do a first turn. First turn is swap to T-Tar. No, I don't want that. Swap to T-Tar. Protect. fight, protect. Now that that's going, I will fix titles. One issue that we're seeing in P1 in some cases is my Hydreigon is baiting close combat from Paladins on the left side. We didn't see that here, but I've had other people with that issue. I could love pumpking. Me too, Mist. Maybe not as much as you, but I went from hating pumpking 2 years ago to now loving it, mostly thanks to this team. Thank you, China, our overlords, in terms of Pokemon strategy. What was I doing? Studio. Turn 2. We are Assurance on Pumpking. We are clicking Earthquake. And we are switching to Hydreigon. So the really creative thing about this team that was different than anybody else has done so far is trying to find 3 Pokemon that work throughout the entire thing. They're using 6 and doing this creative switching strategy to bait certain moves in the first turn, and setting up the ideal lineups for later, where phase 1 isn't that important what you do in what order. We can get the T-Tar in on the right side, then we can reswap the Levitate Hydreigon in on the Earth Power baited by the Smeargle. The very particular Smeargle, level 78, with the super low IVs and the naive nature to make it very favorable to get 1-hit KO'd by that Earth Power. And the Chillon Berry to not bait a Hyper Voice as well, so that it doesn't get 1-hit KO'd by the Hyper Voice. If it does, then the AI will see that and then use Hyper Voice to 1-hit KO and hit the other Pokemon. We don't want that. So there's a lot of creative stuff going on here. We want to Assurance. Crunch is going to go first, so we're going to crunch there and Assurance. So crunch, assurance, and that's a clean P1. Studio content. Multitasking so hard. So hard. Raids waiting room. Save. Into P2 we go. But yeah, as far as raids go, I think what we're going to see is Galvantula come online at midnight UTC, or tonight, or tomorrow technically, but like tonight. Let me focus. I gotta lock in real quick so I don't fuck this up. P2 is a little tricky. X attack. It's not saved because I haven't clicked X attack yet. Here we go. Got plenty of those. X attack on Krook. We protect on Krook. And then we heal block the Pumpkin so that its vines don't heal it. Very important. I don't know if my alerts are set up properly, but I just heard the follow. So thank you, whoever that was. New Moon Island means Darkrai? It does. That is the... Change it to waiting room because we're thick of it. That was funny. New Moon Island means Darkrai, yeah. So if you see in the instance info tab, we have a Sinnoh thing here. So in the updates, New Moon Island is where it was, and then that's the instance info for Darkrai. That'll be for the Darkrai refight battle, where you can get Dream Essences every 6 hours, should it be the same as last year. Smeargle dies as planned in P2 here. Then Tyranitar comes in to taunt the boss. We do start doing damage here, but we taunt the boss first. The Moxie Krook is also super nice because it's getting its stat boosts here, +2 attack. Or it'll get another +2 attack just from the Earthquake coming up. But we have an Assurance, an Earthquake, and a Taunt. Obviously, major shout out to Xanarchy, who translated the strategy from Billy last Halloween. I was not on the pumpkin train. I was pretty demoralized after the previous year of getting slapped around by pumpkin, and decided that I was just going to go all in on raids, which I did. But then towards the event, this strategy became popularized, and I had a friend Secret lend me the team when he was not using it, and then when he was finally bored of using it. So I got like 200 or so pumpkin bags from last year. I think there will be just as much time after they're all done for people to rush them all at the end. Yeah, I think it'll be 24-hour release schedule. my best guess is 24-hour release schedule, 7 raids. So it'll be about 8 days in. That'll leave like four-ish days to, I think it's about 12 days. I think they run the event. Let's see. So the trick is, where is the gift shop? So we have 13 days left. Usually the things that give you rewards stop giving rewards, or you no longer have access to the things that give you things to turn in, but the turn in stay on. So for example, there will be no more swarm Pokemon, but you'll still be able to turn in swarm Pokemon about 11 days from now, usually how it goes. Then you have 2 days to continue turning things in. So it's kind of like a wind down phase of the event. And then the shops stay available the whole time. All right. And then this is just a full damage turn. On this turn, you are able to potentially heal if you need to. This amount of chip is very normal. This usually if things don't go as planned. I am running the version that's using ground gems. Karuk already used the earthquake, so there's no more ground gem. There is the option to run soft sand. Your P1 changes though, because you can't one hit KO the paladin. So basically what happens is you have to single target crunch the paladin first, and then it plays as normal. Here's the first backup mon in Skuntank. It's got a scarf, and we're just going to toxic pumpkin to give it that extra little chip, as well as the aftermath additional chip. So this is where all the little chip adds up. We're getting withered. I believe we use X attack on the Hydreigon turn here. We do have to EQ turn 1 here. We have to deal with the ads immediately. And then we are toxicking with Scarf. Normally this Skuntank would die from the earthquake, but we're going first, and then Pumpkin goes next. So the order is Skuntank, then Pumpkin. Pumpkin kills the Skuntank. I forget what the name of the move is that it uses. I have strings enabled that do remove that text. I try to remember to turn that off when I'm streaming, but I always forget. And then the earthquake hits, we get the Moxie procs, all that. So very standard P3 here. Fun fact, China started this strat using Electrode, and at some point, I don't know if this us just here in West swapped to Skuntank just to not miss Toxic. I mean, yeah, that's the best way of doing it. You know, if you miss Toxic, getting to that next turn kind of sucks, but it also makes sense why the strat was to like, what do you do in the next turn? They were accounting for that kind of miss where it's like this hypothetical turn 3 after this one would be, you have to make up that extra damage as well as the aftermath that you're losing. But you'll see here, we get to assurance with both mons because the aftermath counts as damage against the boss. And then we just boost the attack of the Hydreigon, the adamant Hydreigon here, to finish the boss off. So first we get the aftermath chip, 77.8. Assurance. But wait, there's a sliver of health left. But we have Toxic. Hey, Kevin, friend, the previous strategy isn't 100% for Boss King. Is that true? It depends on the strategy that you're talking about. Almost no strategy is truly 100%, as much as people want to say that. Like, people who love to, make YouTube videos and stuff, like, love to exaggerate and say, like, this strat is perfect, use this one. And, that gives them more, engagement for their videos and whatever. Nothing's 100%. This one is the closest to consistent as you will get. There are still problems with it. I've kind of discussed them. I'll discuss them again in a little bit more detail. I don't think I'm going to sell. I'll probably just buy another special candy real quick and run another one back. With that said, this one is designed to be consistent and fast. The other strategies are much more difficult to pilot. I say, like, expert players, it takes them a little while to get up. I was trying to get it done like the last 2 years using the other strategies, and it is a very painful process. It's expensive to learn because you're using these special candies, and if you wipe, it's over. You're also using a lot of expensive consumables to make those strategies work, and they are not 100%. So it's a really, really difficult fight. If you're not using this 6-mon strategy, it is a learning curve for sure. Be prepared to drop, like, literally in addition to the cost of the team, like, budget like $1 mil I'm not kidding, to start to get up to speed on how it works. It's 65k per special on top of the cookies that you have to use, on top of like the full restores, revival herbs, whatever it might be, energy roots, yada yada. What do you get from the hard mode pumpkin? You get pumpking goodie bags. They're about 30k each. You get 5, so it's about 150k total. So your special candies are about 65k. So you're making about 85k per run right now. Oh, I didn't mean to cancel. Special hard. When is Galvantula dropping? I think tonight at midnight UTC is my best guess. And I think we're getting a new one every midnight UTC after that. But we will have to see. It could just drop randomly this afternoon. How do you think Carving Knight will fit into any of these strats? That is a great question. I don't know yet. My best guess is it's not really needed for turn 1. I think it's going to make all of the strategies, or it'll make a strategy possible in turn. Okay, we're good here. One of the things that can happen, I have a fully maxed defense T-Tar, but sometimes if the Paladin is on the left, it will sometimes close combat the Hydreigon instead of the Grook, and I don't know why. So raids are not live now, I take it. They are not as far as I'm aware. Protect. So that is just one way that this strategy can fail. The AI across, this is basically 3 battles kind of daisy chained into one. The AI can get weird, even as consistent as this strat might be. Yeah, and as Miss said, this one is, there are far fewer scenarios where this goes wrong, and it is just much more straightforward. It is a prescribed turn-by-turn guide with very little variation, where most of the other guides are like kind of a bunch of decision trees where, okay, in turn 2, basically in phase 2, what you're dealing with is, to get back to the pumpkin carving knife thing, in phase 2, what you're dealing with is the sleep problem, where the boss is trying to get your mons asleep. If you have 2 or more asleep, it does a special move that you need to wake back up from. So you're trying to use Chesto berries, recycle with like Driftblim and Tropius. You're just doing it yourself with Chestos. You're just using Awakenings on your mons to keep them awake. If you're able to flinch that one time, it makes the entire phase 2 that much more consistent. Potentially the phase 3 even more consistent. So you'll have to all these changes. All these teams are like super fine tuned to do exactly what they do already. Where am I? What am I doing? This is still okay. I forgot where I was. This is still assurance EQ. Yeah, EQ swap Hydreigon. Okay. The good thing about this strategy is, as well as you can pretty much immediately tell exactly what step you're on. Always, you don't have to, like, if you look back, there's always context. I know that I'm in P1 because they're level 70. I know where I am because I have what mons I have on the field. It's very straightforward. P1 T2. Yes, thank you, Miss. You think I could just wing it on easy mode? I got decent PvE mons. Absolutely. All you need is safeguard at the beginning of every turn. Sorry, at the beginning of every, really just safeguard at the beginning of phase 1, and phase 2. In the middle, you want somebody doing spread damage, whether that be EQ or like Typhlosion Eruption works great. Third, you want something that hits hard. Chandelure with Shadow Ball, a big dark type hitter, that works. And then if you have a bunch of dark types that hit hard in the back, you'll clear easy mode. So just safeguard, spread move in the middle, and then big hitter on the right side. One thing that is really easy is if you have that Typhlosion, you can safeguard with a Ninetales setting Sun. Works great. You can also fake tears instead of using specials, thanks to Rainer for this tech. That'll go in phase 3. Now where am I? We're not taunting. This is assurance, crunch, because that goes first, and then assurance. Okay, so clean P1. I can run through an easy mode real quick too. Kind of showcase Rainer's strategy. Ooh, oh, that was my watch buzzing. So maybe I'll do that in a little bit. I'll do that, and then a mini boss, then a kid, and we'll call it a day probably because I need to get ready to go. We are Hydreigon. I believe it's X attack, protect, yeah, and heal block. 6-mon comp is too good. It is very effective. It is extremely effective. Bruce, I missed your question. You can make raid video guides for everything. That is a really good question. If raids stay the same, I'm leaning towards not making new videos. I suspect that a lot of other YouTubers are probably just going to make the videos for the attention, call it, or continued relevancy of the channel. Obviously, the fact that I haven't uploaded a video in God knows how long at this point, I'm clearly not in it for that. If they are the same, I'll probably make just kind of overarching video that sort of explains. Maybe I'll just do a quick rapid fire of each boss. If we have 2 or 3 that are exactly the same, I'll just do a little rapid fire. Here's some tips and tricks, stuff that I remember from last year. In the raids menu, top right, it showed Bennett as the second raid. Interesting. I can click it. I think we're going to get as raids this year. I think my guess is exactly the same ones. We are T-Tar taunts now. Assurance EQ taunt. Assurance EQ taunt. Petition for everyone to start calling the team the Broken Six. Somebody said that. I don't know if it was you, Miss, and I laughed. I was like, it kind of is. It's the PvE version of the Broken Six. Assurance EQ taunt. Taunt is very important. I believe the taunt dodges the move that puts you to sleep next. That's understandable. Thanks for asking. Yeah, no problem. The video that I kind of want to make is what I'm doing right now. Is this live recording where there's a couple little things I think are really worth sharing for newer players. This in particular is more for the advanced players. Pumpking. If you're a new player and you're watching this for some reason, thank you for watching. You don't need to do pumpking for your first event. This is going to be a really expensive team to breed. There's a lot of niche stuff that will have no value should the pumpking fight change in the future. Like an adamant Hydreigon is useless. The Krook and the T-Tar are valuable, both super useful. But everything else is kind of and it's particularly hard to breed. Kind of tough overall. So I would say you could focus on the mini bosses and the kids, and really the swarms are what you're going to want to focus on. And I'm going to go over the mini bosses and trick-or-treaters really quick, just some tips and tricks towards the end of the stream here. So that was a long-winded way of saying I'm going to put all this in this VOD and then maybe link to the VOD, particularly at certain timestamps. So it'll be here's the mini boss tips section. So shooting for an hour here. And finally, P3 again. Yeah, so I don't know what the deal is with raids. It's really strange that we're seeing Bennett also, because that would imply, that they're both up. And is it our fault? Are we missing something? Are they bugged? If anybody finds an active den. Yeah, it was me. Yeah, it was you, missed. Broken Six is just wonderful. If you're not familiar, it was referring to a particular PvP team, or it was initially coined. At least the first time I heard it was for a particular set of 6 Pokemon that there was a lot of variability in how you could build them, but it was just the 6 in particular. It's the bulky Starmie. I think it was Hydreigon, Chomp, something or other. Jellicent. We are X attack. What the hell? What did I click? Bag. X attack. EQ. Toxic. In Viridian, the den is turned off for Galvantula. Yeah, I went there as well. Literally first thing as servers open to check. And it wasn't there. I didn't go to click on the den. I wonder if there's something that you have to do to like activate the raid dens in a particular region that we're all just missing. Like maybe you have to do wisps first, but people have done that. Maybe there's some other item that you have to collect. Yeah, but no raid got added. I've checked all of the dens. Just out of curiosity, did you check for the visual like light beam, or did you actually go up and interact with every den? Like press A on the... Because I didn't do that, and I'm second guessing myself now that maybe that is the like the visual is just bugged, and we've all just missed the fact that you could press A on the raid, which I doubt at this point, because I think if somebody found that out, we'd all know. But still trying to cover bases here. They're 100% not active, says Mist. Okay. We are assurance, X attack. Done wisps, done pumpcats. Talk to all the dens now after the Bennett showed. Okay, yeah. I'm leaning towards it's bugged, but I don't know. It very well could be that this, let's say that they code something for, there's a timer, a schedule for when this interface, the raids are revealed, and it's not the same interface or the same kind of code that syncs up to when the raids actually get released on the back end. So it's possible that this is just 24 hours ahead of schedule, let's say, where they left it as it was, but then they decided to push everything back a day. So we're just seeing this late. That's my best guess, but I could battle the kid, but I had this kid spawn under a raid den, could battle the kid, but nothing in the den. Poor kid got stuck underneath a raid den, and you just show up, kick the shit out of him, and then leave. These poor kids, this whole event. All right. That's going to do it for this portion of the evening. We are going to do a quick little mini boss. If you are looking for where to find mini bosses and you don't know this at all for some reason, the Petrowski Discord is easily the best place for callouts. So I'm going there to check the mini boss current locations. And we're going to go, I'm going to do a little showcase. This is Island 5. So if you don't have the islands unlocked in Kanto, it's a bit annoying. You can't fly inside of a Pokemon Center. That's true. So for this team, what we're doing is we're basically just using and boosting an Excadrill to smack all 3 ads that spawn. Do I have any spooky candies left? Yes. Okay. So we have a low level slow Gigalith. It's got Sandstream to set sand. Slow is important because the mages will set rain. So you want that to go after. The Gigalith can literally do nothing else. You can even use, I think it gets Helping Hand, or T-Tar gets Helping Hand. So if you had a slow T-Tar, you could give it Helping Hand, but that's the other portion of the strat. We're clicking Earthquake with Excadrill. This Excadrill has 0 EVs. I did buy a 2x31 one off the GTL just to use, and then I realized it didn't have EVs. I thought, hey, I'll just try it anyway. So far it's 1 for 2. I think a Paladin lived, and then I just had to click Earthquake again. I'm sure that if I EV'd it, it would have died. It was at like 80%. Or it did like 80% of its health. So we are clicking Earthquake, and then you just need a mon with Helping Hand. I literally just went to the GTL, search, has move, Helping Hand, click. It's all female Nidorans. Oh, there's a Meryl this time. It was all female Nidorans or Nidorinas for 1k. It literally does not matter. It's a prio move. It's just going to die anyway. So you do that, click Helping Hand on the Excadrill. So Helping Hand boosts the attack of the Earthquake. Excadrill uses Earthquake. Unfortunately, it does hit both of our friendly mons here. You could throw air balloons on them, I guess, if you wanted to. It does not really matter, though. The Prince lived. We take 10%. And so all that needs to happen now, you could put other mons in. I only brought these 3. It takes Sandstorm Chip. So I'm sure if you EV train this thing, it would do more damage. The other thing is it's level 65. You can just buy one off the GTL and train it. It scales up to your level. The only level that matters is for the Excadrill, or I guess the Gigalith too. I don't think even at max level it would outspeed the mage, but basically you can do 2 low level mons to accompany it, and then it only really matters what your exegil level is. It scales up to the highest level in your party. So it will just be an easy purchase on the GTL. Let's see what we got. I'm pretty sure you could buy pretty much any excadrill. They're like level 60 is like 3K right now. Maybe get the one with like the lonely 24. Like you could buy this for 3K, EV train it really quickly. Buy a Sandstream, Gigalith, or really like any of the anything from that line. What is it? Roggenrola, Sandstream, search. Like boom, 1 for 2K. You could buy that, and then you already saw the Helping Hand Pokemon. They're like 2K each. So for like 6K, and you're a new player and you have nothing, all you have to do is go to the Nidorans in Kanto. Right? Not there. That's Vermilion. Does anyone else do that? Click on Vermilion when they mean to click Fuchsia? They're like, in my head, they're like in the same place. Go here to the right with the Sweet Scent Pokemon. I have the Ocarina, so I can just show you really quickly. I'll give this Excadrill some EVs really quick. You will need a choice band if you're a new player, which is a bit expensive, but it's a good investment. You're going to need choice bands. They're just what you need on your account. So you can do this with a Sweet Scent Pokemon in your party. Like I said, I have the Ocarina. Boom. Here is 10 attack EVs. Do that 25 times and you're set. Or 26 technically. Maybe that's why the update took so long. They couldn't get raids working. Definitely a possibility. Literally 0 alpha details from Galvancho 2025. Yeah, that's I guess the true barometer. Sorry, I was ignoring YouTube chat. Well, I was ignoring both chats. Hippopotas gets Helping Hand too. Yeah. Live Cap, insane. Thanks for all your work. Thought I could catch you. Just want to say thanks. Appreciate it. Thanks for dropping by. So that is how to do a mini boss easily. And then I'll just do I'll talk about a little bit what is effective for the kids. It's really, I mean, if you're a new player, anything that you were using for the story probably works. Let me stress test a little real quick. I've got some mons here. I don't know how low it'll scale to you for the kids battles, but we can check. I've got some random ass. Oh my God, where is everything? I did not organize my boxes properly before. Here we go. We'll try this Starmie and we'll try this Gyarados. Wait, does it have the right moves? Yeah, it's fine. We'll just do a Waterfall Bite. Yeah. So the best possible option, I would say, is going to be a Gallade, which is a great mon to make. It's a little bit expensive to make though. So I wouldn't say you need one, but it'll be really useful for Halloween to make one for raids. So it could be worth it. You could drop a muscle band on it. Give that to Glade. Let's see where these kids are. Like, if you're just skipping to this part of the video or part of the VOD, I just mentioned that the best place for callouts is Petrowski's Discord. So I'm checking the kids callouts channel to find out where they are in Kanto at the moment. We've got Cerulean, so we'll go do that one first. Try the Gyarados first. Cerulean, Celadon, and Route 11. I think it's over here, yeah. You think they'd clean up this house by now? It's been like this for as long as I can remember. So we'll try the Gyarados, no item real quick with Moxie. Oh, yeah. It scales to the highest level in your party. So I needed to bring the Gyarados and only the Gyarados. So this won't work. It's scaling to, I believe the Gallade's level 100. So that's going to be the highest level Pokemon. So we'll do the Gallade real quick. Hopefully it doesn't die on switch in and then I just get wiped. Let's just get wiped. I don't feel like stalling that long. So the reason why Gallade is so good, I don't have Night Slash on here. That's another great coverage move, but between sharpness, boosting these attacks, bringing them like 80 base power, you just got massive base stats. It's just one of the best PvE mons in general. It's the best for running the stories, or one of the best. It's basically this and Starmie, which I also have one of here. So it's got Stab for Sacred Sword and Psycho Cut. Even just neutral Sacred Sword is enough to kill most things. Muscle Band lets you switch around. So I think Psycho Cut's going to be the move on this Gliscor here. It might even die to a Sacred Sword despite the flying resist, but let's do the Psycho Cut. Clear is normally a pretty tanky mon, pretty easily right there. Like I said, though, pretty much anything will work. Any good story mon that you have. We're leveling our Nidoran. My XP reamps saved are still up. Gotta remember not to do that. You can click a Leaf Blade on a Feraligatr if you want for super effective damage. Probably won't matter. I think it's about the same. But yeah, Sharpness is just OP. There's a reason why it's banned in OU. It's just so good. So overall, Gallade is probably the best for like these type of trainer battles. By the time you're making a Gallade, though, like you can probably progress to more difficult content. But the Gallade's still going to be useful for a long time. All right, let's go to Celadon. Don't care. Not going to Evo. Got a Spooky Candy. That's Celadon. Is this Starmie moveset properly? So we'll do Starmie really quick. We got to ditch the Gallade and the Excadrill probably. Of course it's doing that right now. The joys of trying to put untradeable items in the box. Okay. Go find this kid, steal some candy. So like I was saying, Gallade is one of the best story mons. Its counterpart is Starmie. Starmie's really good for Kanto in particular, and Hoenn. Sinnoh's kind of a toss-up between the two. Johto and Unova are very good for... Where is it? There's no photo. Maybe it's up back? No, I would have seen people going through here. Did I just dodge it? Like up behind here. By that, isn't it? Did I get lied to? Why can't I click on? There we go. Chat. Am I dumb? Spooky Candy is cheap as fuck. It's not as... I think it's been cheaper in years past. Is it like outside of Celadon? Call out is like 5 minutes old. I have no idea. Is it a bad call? Route 12. That's why they just edited. Where's Route 12? Route 11, Route 12. We're here? Yeah. 10, 11. No. This is 11. Okay. Do this one first. So just like Galadu's using Muscle Band, we're using Wise Glasses for Starmie. If you're not familiar, that's just a flat 10% boost to all special moves. which Starmie excels at, whereas Glade is its physical counterpart in some sense, just from terms of like use case for each. I believe I did a Starmie run, Kanto run with this one. So its coverage is also crazy. It's got 2 huge stab moves in Surf and Psychic. It doesn't have that sharpness boost, but its stats are just good enough. Then you have Bolt Beam coverage, famous for just having very good coverage against most types. So for everything that Surf and Psychic don't hit stab for, you'll probably have a super effective option between the 2 of them. Do you reckon it's probably just best to sell my hard mode team and the special candies? I don't think I'd be skilled enough to not lose money trying to take on the fight. I don't want to be overly defeatist, but I do want to warn people that it is a very difficult endeavor. I love that Ice Beam just like went off screen there. So I would say I'll explain to you my frustration 2 years ago with a team that is less consistent than the ones that we have now. So it's a little bit more difficult. I had a limited time to play Halloween 2 years ago. And when I was playing, I was trying to learn the fight. And I was spending a lot of money. I wasn't making a lot of money where the hope was to make money. And I just wanted to eventually beat it. I was unable to just because I didn't understand the ins and outs of the fight very much. If you have a lot of time to hard grind the event, you're gonna power through that in like a couple hours. I had maybe like 8 hours over the course of like 2 weeks to play. So I would say if you have a limited amount of time and you're not going to be able to make up for the fact that you're going to have to spend a little bit up front, then I would lean towards doing swarms and just doing mini bosses and kids in between, just as like a little mix up. Oh, we're still leveling our Nidoran. So that's what I would say. It's still one of the more fun learning experiences in Broom Cookie. Nice. Oh, and that's my first shard. If you're not aware, the shards give you a special item, or they combine to make a special item for pumpking that causes it to flinch whenever you do damage to it. What was the last? Route 12 from Lavender. So that was a long-winded way of saying, if you have a limited amount of time, I would focus on doing other events just because they're much more straightforward. Your baseline's better, and pumpkin might get overfarmed this year. Heck and love pumpkin. If you heck and love pumpkin, then do the heck out of pumpkin. We are going to drop our higher level Pokemon and just try to see if we can do it with this Moxie Gyarados. What is going on here? That was bizarre. We'll give it a Mystic Water just to up our chances. Is this going to ruin it? It's definitely going to level, isn't it? I got a little bit of play, but we'll see what happens. I'm probably never going to use this anyway. Let's see if this works. I saved a dock somewhere, but since Broken 6 works, I don't need it. Yeah. Yeah, I'd be interested. You use Typhlo for hard mode for everyone? Okay, so level 20 does not work. Yeah, okay. Can't leave, whatever. We're just gonna get smoked by the Spiritomb. So you probably need like minimum level like 40 or 50 Pokemon. It seems like. Oh, am I just gonna flinch kill this thing? No, there it goes. We Shockwave 4 times effectiveness goes off and we faint. So limit testing. So you can't just use level 20 Gyarados. You probably need like a level 40 to 50 Mon. Yeah, I'm a firm believer. Firm Typhlosion believer for hard mode. Yeah, I think it could work. But I think that's going to be it for me. I do have to get going here. Thanks all for tuning in. I'll probably try to go live tomorrow night. If raids drop tonight, it's pretty unlikely that I get a video out in a timely fashion. It is a 3-star raid though, so it's not going to be all that difficult. Is pumpkin still the same? It is. So all the strategies from last year worked. When you reckon the best time to sell special candies ASAP or towards the end of the event? They start to drop a lot towards the end of the event. Because you can't carry them over for next year. So if people had any, in their inventory and they're done with the pumpkin, they just start dumping them. And then a lot of people are selling their team off, trying to make some profit back. So like the special candies just sort of like drop ASAP. Yeah, definitely. There might be a little bit of a fluctuation from now until like 10, like call it like 6 days from now, where it might go up and down from like, what is it, 65K? It might like bounce back to 70 or something, but it's not worth trying to catch a falling knife. Just get rid of them ASAP. But yeah, in terms of stream schedule, I'll probably try to stream Sunday night. No promises. Otherwise, maybe sometime this week. TBD on videos. I'll probably do something if the raids are the same. If the raids are different, you'll obviously see videos from me. So that is all, folks. Have a good one. Enjoy your day. Thanks for tuning in. Good luck with your pumpkins. Good luck with your swarms. Good luck with your mini bosses. Killing kids or fainting their Pokemon, rather. We're not murdering children. Don't demonetize me, YouTube. So happy Halloween weekend to everybody celebrating. Have a good one. Peace out.